Good morning. This morning I'm going to be presenting on the topic of vacations. And certainly there are many different places you could go. And I'm going to be sharing some highlights from our last vacation in Kauai. Actually, there's really two questions I want to answer with this presentation, and those questions are if to travel with small children and where you might go. And I'm going to recommend that you go to Kauai, and essentially because Kauai is such an excellent place to go and relax with small children. And I'm going to be, essentially I want to talk about three things in this presentation. The first thing I want to talk about is vacations in general. I want to essentially perhaps remind everyone and encourage them to take vacations. The second thing I want to talk about is Kauai, or Hawaii in particular, some of the unique things Hawaii has to offer. And finally, I want to talk about traveling with small children and some hints for making that easier that we've learned. So first, the first thing I really wanted to mention about vacations is that vacations are just an excellent opportunity to relax and spend some quality time with your family. There's just a few slides here of our family playing and relaxing, essentially stepping away from that busy daily grind and just enjoying ourselves. So you see some pictures here of at least myself playing with our son Michael, my wife with our son in the hammock, and again another picture of my wife with our two children playing in the water there. But really the theme, at least of these slides I wanted to capture is just the essence of getting away from that routine and playing without all the other concerns. The next thing I wanted to share is some unique experiences we had with our children during the vacation. And here you see a picture of our 7-month-old daughter, Christiana, we call Nana. And this was the first time we traveled with Nana. It was her first flight, and it was the first time we took her swimming. And you see in the picture, she's certainly enjoying the water there with her mom. One of the things that I'll always remember for the vacation is essentially going into the vacation. I wasn't that particularly bonded with our daughter. She would let me hold her for a little while, but then she would cry and she'd want her mom back shortly after. But after the vacation, she wants me to hold her. She spends more time with me. So there's really there's really a change going into the vacation and coming out of the vacation. So that was at least one of the unique things that happened for me personally on the vacation. So next I wanted to share, to share some similar experiences with our son Michael. And our 2-year-old son Michael, there's a picture of him there. He really enjoys interacting with people of all ages, and in particular, he enjoys interacting with children, and is always the first child to run to the other children and start interacting and playing. And when we traveled, he certainly would do this wherever we went. And here you see him actually interacting with his little friend Solana. And as we went from place to place, Michael is always interacting with people, and that creates, I think, a nice opportunity also for us to talk with parents and other people. So that was great. One of the unique experiences that happened with Michael is we heard him say his name for the first time by the lagoon here. And I think that'll be I think I'll remember that forever. Another thing we had the opportunity to watch his travel vocabulary grow. So things like going to the airport, the airplane, the hotel, the palm trees, all these sorts of things. His vocabulary was just growing with all these travel-related topics. So essentially, with the vacation, the essence of what I wanted to share there was the point of relaxation and the unique experiences that you have on a vacation that you don't have otherwise, and of course encourage people to take a vacation. The next thing I wanted to talk about was some of the unique experiences, some of the unique things that Hawaii has to offer. And one of the things we enjoy when we go to Kauai is very much the Hyatt in Poipu. We've actually stayed here the past 3 years, and one of the reasons I think the primary reason we go here is because of the lagoon. And essentially what the lagoon is it's a man-made saltwater pool. It has this what they call shipwreck beach. It's got essentially a man-made beach with sand, and it's just this huge saltwater pool. And they even rent kayaks. And one of the pictures here, you see myself taking our son Michael for a kayak ride. So the thing that's so great about the lagoon with the small children is the gradual fall off of the man-made beach into the sand. So the kids can play, and you don't have to worry about the waves getting them, getting you, and so forth and so on. So it's you can just really relax with the kids there. Another thing the Hyatt has is they have these parrots, and I think just about every day they have a parrot show. And what you see here is you see Michael holding the parrot on his arm, which was certainly an experience that he enjoyed, and added the word parrot to his vocabulary, in fact. And then the next slide, the next thing I want to mention is the breakfast buffet at the Hyatt. It's fantastic, and it actually sits next to this nice pond there with a swan, and just great environment, great food. So we make sure every time we go, we get the buffet included with our room. So the Hyatt is certainly a great place to go with children because of that lagoon. And next thing I want to talk about is the luau that we enjoyed. And in this slide, you see a picture of our son Michael learning to play with the poi balls. And the music, certainly the music in the luau is fantastic. And one of the things Michael and I do is we have this Tahitian duet that we do, kind of a little scat thing, which is a lot of fun, which we started right after the luau. And certainly the Polynesian dancing is one of the highlights, and in particular the fire dancer, which you see here. And one of the things that was interesting or was really great to see was just the look of awe on Michael's face, which is captured in the next slide here. He was just in awe the entire time of the luau. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the climate in Hawaii, and the climate is certainly motivation to go to Hawaii, and it provides the opportunity just to relax. Again, I think it's associated with relaxing. And you see just a couple pictures here. You see Mom and Nana enjoying the warm sun, Nana with her big hat on to protect her from the sun, of course. And then there's a picture of myself and my son. I think this is pretty much as the sun is going down, getting the last few minutes at the lagoon that we can. So so the climate is certainly fantastic in Hawaii. The next thing I wanted to talk about is traveling with young children, and we certainly discovered during this trip that it's possible to travel with two young children. And one of the things that's at least was interesting from us is the varied reaction that we receive traveling with children. And it ranges from people looking at you like you're crazy, to the other hand of people coming up to you and saying, "Oh wow, we wish we would have traveled with small children. We didn't travel for 5 years, but it looks like you're having a great time." So really varied reaction. But I think the bottom line is that it's possible, certainly possible to travel with young children. And I just wanted to share a couple of tips that make it I think easier and more enjoyable to travel with small children. And the first is flying. One of the things that we found is very helpful is keeping the children occupied while they fly. So my wife always brings she'll bring a box of toys, at least some art projects and so forth. And actually the picture here is from the previous year, us taking Michael to Kauai for the first time. You'll see that my wife has him set up with some toys there. And the other thing is to maintain the children's sleep schedule. One of the things we were really concerned about was how well will the children sleep while we're in Kauai. So that was one of at least one of our concerns about going into the vacation. And one of the things we did is we found that maintaining the children's sleep schedule as it normally is a thing that's important. And having getting the children their normal amount of sleep really gives them the opportunity to be their best and certainly enjoy the trip. So one of the things I did is every afternoon I would slip away from the lagoon with Michael, and I would take him up to our room, close the blinds, and essentially set him in his crib, and he'd take a 2-hour nap, and that at the same time gave me the opportunity to read all the material for this program, project management communication class. And finally, I want to mention that I think children enjoy the change of pace perhaps even more than adults, and that was certainly quite, I could see that with their daughter and our son. In particular, Michael, could just see him enjoying every minute of the day from place to place, activity to activity, and he really enjoyed it. So so with this presentation, I hope I've encouraged and reminded people why we take vacations, and that we need to look up from our busy routines and make sure vacations happen. The second thing is that I hope I showed you and encouraged you to think about going to Hawaii if you have small kids, in particular the Hyatt in Kauai, because of that lagoon. Essentially, you can literally play there for weeks on end and have a great time. And then finally, the tips for traveling with young children. I hope those will be helpful and maybe take away a little bit of fear of traveling with small children.